Great. Also, my name is DJ. As Mariana mentioned, I run a company called ValueChampion, which is a marketplace for financial products out in Asia. And I'd love to actually begin our story by introducing you to my friend. This is working. David Tan. So Dave is a 30-year-old programmer in Singapore who actually recently married his long-term girlfriend, Cheryl. But when they first got engaged, Dave was having dinner with his friends, talking about how expensive his wedding was going to be. And during that dinner, when he mentioned this, one of his friends told him, hey, actually, Dave, you should really look into getting a good credit card. In fact, when the friend got married previous year, he earned so much credit card points that he pretty much paid for his honeymoon on points. So when Dave went home that night, he remembered what his friend told him and decided, hey, I'm gonna go actually shop for a credit card online. And he goes to websites like this that lists a bunch of credit cards for him. And as he's browsing through the site, reading about each card, what he realized was, this site was only telling him like 3 to 5 things about each card, and even those features that he was seeing often weren't very comparable. Right here, you're looking at $25 of miles conversion fee, comparing that to monthly minimum spend required. So ultimately, he couldn't really figure out which card would be the best for him. But Dave's a smart guy, he's a programmer. He thought he could figure this out by doing his own research and building a spreadsheet to actually gather all the data points about a credit card and compare for himself. This meant that he had to go dig through dozens of pages that look just like this. A credit card in Singapore typically has dozens of conditions like the spend requirements, limits on how you can actually earn rewards, and sometimes even different. And this varies from groceries to petrol to dining. It's a pretty complicated product. And because there are over 100 credit cards in Singapore, the spreadsheet began to look like this. Pretty crazy spreadsheet. And Dave was not happy. And he's not alone. We estimate that about 70% of consumers find shopping for a financial product like a credit card to be too time-consuming and too overwhelming. And at least they waste at least $10 billion every year on suboptimal financial products like credit cards, loans, and insurance. And this estimate can go up to $50 billion or more if you're actually not being conservative like I am. And that's where ValueChampion comes into play. Introducing ValueChampion, what we do is we help consumers find the best financial products and solutions, services, quickly and easily, while having the peace of mind that you find the right match. And this is how it works. Let's say you're looking for a credit card, a cashback credit card. When you come to our site, you can see that we've done all the research and work, and we've categorized all the credit cards, the best options, into the 6 most important factors that consumers typically look for when they're looking for a credit card. Right, since you're looking for a cashback card, you click on the cashback button. It takes you to a listing like this, and this is our actual listing on the site right now. And the way it works is we give you one quick liner answer, right? This UOB One card is the best flat rate rebate credit card. And some of the key features right below it. Right below it, we go into a little more detail with more features that you want to know about it. But this is the bread and butter, right? Editor's review. This is where we explain to you in plain language. We call it internal friendly language. Explain to you why this card is the best one. Right? So if you spend consistently 2,000 Singapore dollars a month, which is about the average in the country, UOB One card is the best card for maximizing cashback and all of your spending. And the rest of the section is dedicated to explain why that is. And to come up with our recommendations, what we do is, I think it's pretty innovative for us. We found a way to actually compare credit cards on an apples-to-apples basis in terms of how much rewards a card will earn for you net of fees. And you can see that the UOB One card, which I just showed you, earns about 3 to 4 times higher in terms of cash back compared to the market average. And we don't just do this for credit cards. We do this for every financial product you can think of: mortgage, car insurance, investment platforms, even niche products like maid insurance and pet insurance. And this approach has worked really well for us. In Singapore, we actually crossed 100,000 monthly visitors, and we're going to be well above that in June. And we're growing through COVID, even the country still shut down. Korea, we're also continuing to be pretty strong and resilient even during COVID. And in June, we'll be breaking our record, which was about 125,000 monthly visitors. In India, Hong Kong, very new sites there, and we're actually getting really good traction. So, and these are just 4 out of 12 markets that we are targeting, and these markets comprise $13 trillion GDP, and they all have either really high penetration or rapidly rising penetration of financial products like credit cards, insurance, and loans. So why is it that you're having so much success in the last 18 months that we launched at the beginning of last year? How are we having success so quickly? It's because we've actually done this before. Like Mariana mentioned, we spun out of a company called ValuePenguin, which did exactly what we do, but in the US. And they were acquired by LendingTree for $105 million beginning of last year. And what they did, and basically we're doing the exact same thing that they did with the same people, just in new markets, because these markets are way more exciting than the US because it's so early there. And what Penguin did really well was building organic traffic. They didn't spend $1 on marketing, and that's why they had an EBITDA margin of 75%. And we're doing the same. In Singapore, we're growing organically, zero paid acquisitions. Korea, all organic traffic, zero paid traffic. India, all organic traffic, zero paid traffic. In Hong Kong, we'll be doing this again and again and again. Japan, Taiwan, Australia, Indonesia, you name it. And the big secret to our organic growth is our research capability. So I actually spent about 4 years investing in public equities at some of the leading hedge funds in New York. And I founded ValueChampion, the hedge fund level analytics to consumers and help them with their daily-based management. And because of that, I'm building this research team that has produced a lot of research and advice and content that regularly gets featured on major media like CNN, the Straits Times, Today. Donghwailbo is actually the third biggest newspaper in Korea. And this research capability and the quality of our research builds trust with users. And we're building a trusted brand with users to the extent that insurance companies in Singapore are already using our logos and our ratings on their ads and their homepages. And this is why we've been able to grow so quickly while spending nothing on marketing and competing against numerous competitors who are very well funded and are burning money on fire to market themselves, and we're outgrowing them without spending $1 on marketing. So how do we make money? Right? So we are lead gen business right now. We get paid whenever we send users to banks and insurance companies or other, sometimes robo-advisors, online brokerages and stuff like that too. But our goal, I'm going to skip through this a little bit. Our goal is to really build the ultimate Amazon.com, but for personal finance. Right? What I just described to you today is really just stage 1 of what we want to do. Bringing the brand that's trusted to help consumers find the best financial solutions. The next step for us, hopefully, in a few years, will be to start building transactions so that people can actually apply and purchase credit cards, loans, and insurance policies on our site. That will help us build direct relationship with the users, where then we can start recommending products to you on an automated basis. So, an example might be, someone comes to our site and applies for a mortgage for the first time. And maybe our data shows that a person who buys a first home tends to have a baby within 18 months. So in 7 months, I'll email them about, hey, here's maternity insurance that you might be interested in. And after all of that, we'll be to consolidate the markets just the way that LendingTree and actually Red Ventures as well in the US have been doing in this country. But we think we can be the market leader that actually goes to consolidate the market as well. And that's how we're going to create the personal finance market for Asia Pacific. So that's it. I guess, hopefully, we've been having really great success already in the last 18 months, and we're trying to raise capital so we can go a lot more quickly and into more countries so that we can help more consumers like David and Cheryl across all of these countries that you're targeting. So thanks for your time, and I look forward to the breakout session and addressing questions you might have.